has come, the walrus said, to get back to business at the Algonquin stage. Now, has everyone been enjoying this weekend? Do you know why we have a weekend? Because of labor unions. Yes, God bless Samuel Gompers. So, it is with great pleasure that I would like to introduce the National Writers Union, the only labor organization representing freelance writers in every genre.
Hello, I'm Alex Fays from the National Writers Union. I'm the co-chair of the New York chapter, and we are so thrilled to be here and supporting this very important festival called the New York Poetry Festival. The National Writers Union is the only labor union that supports writers of all genres. I'm a business writer, but I learned so much from the poets that participated throughout today. Going to be continuing another day on Sunday, because the fire and power of poetry is so important for the energy, the faith, the hope that we hold in our hearts. And it brings people into the community, brings us out of our apartment buildings, and just breathing the air of inspired words, of just the energy that's here is just fantastic.
Hello, friend. Hello, friend! We are the National Writers Union, featuring the COVID Rebels, 21 authors of a magnificent anthology published next week, the COVID Rebels 21. COVID, because Alex Fays, who's photographing, convened us a year and a half ago, and each Thursday night, through the magic of the technology of Zoom, except when you have an unstable internet connection, she's graciously, gently, firmly nudged us forward to become the writers we believe we are, which gives us the confidence to stand here today.
You know, usually when writers or when we're performing poetry and we ask the audience to close your eyes and listen to the words and imagine what the poet is saying. Today, I'm going to ask you to look at your hands, hold your hands up. Take a look at your hands. Think about where they've been, where they're going, while I'll tell you about these hands. These hands sailed the Nile, and this hand stayed behind, shackled, praying and hoping, and crossed the ocean. Hands raised for justice, hands praying for peace. Hands that speak, hands on a drumbeat. Hands pleading for mercy, hands that cross the Red Sea. Healing hands, beckoning hands, calling hands. Hands on a drumbeat, weathered or young, learning hands. Hands that clap, 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 clap for freedom. Clap, clap, clap. Feel free to clap with me. Clap, clap, clap for freedom. Hands that clap, clap, clap for freedom. These hands sailed the Nile, and this hand stayed behind, shackled, praying, hoping. Hands that say stop, and hands that say go, and hands that say no. Hands raised for justice, hands praying for peace. Hands that seek and hands that weep. Hands on a drumbeat. Hands that parted the Red Sea. Hands pleading for mercy. Hands broken but healed. Hands that can't kneel. Your hands. Clap, clap, clap for freedom. For freedom. Your hands that, because we are still here. We are still here. Thank you very much. You can find my book on Amazon. The name of it is Babel. These are the first series of poems that I read are from the book. And I am, like Mike said, involved with the COVID Rebels, a series of anthology that we're putting together. and another piece of poetry that I'm working on as well. Thank you so much. I'm so happy to see all of you. National Writers Union.
Hi, it's Felix Leo Campos of La Fortaleza CDC urging you to share the news. If you're unvaccinated, you can save lives, stop the spread, support local arts programming and small businesses by getting your first vaccine and get a $100 bonus, plus a chance at more prizes. Join us in celebrating our community's good health and prosperity. Get your first vaccine. Let them know that La Fortaleza sent you.
After the year we've had, we all need to just breathe. La Fortaleza Community Development Corporation hosts its 9th annual Bilingual Literature and Literacy Latino-Latina Heritage Month celebration at El Barrio Artspace PS 109, 215 East 99th Street, Friday and Saturday, October 8th and 9th. Join us. Admission is free. Plus, you can get your first vaccine and get the city's $100 bonus. Don't forget, El Festival del Libro, Friday, Saturday, October 8th and 9th at El Barrio's Artspace PS 109, 215 East 99th Street. And breathe.
A combination of types of poetry. You got the fun poetry, which was 8 by 11. Basically, I was just thinking one day I was just thinking about these papers that I see people come to venues with 8 by 11 or notebooks or so forth. So that kind of got me to thinking, and I just pretty much went on a riff on 8 by 11. So that for example created that poem. And I write poems of different genres. I don't stay locked in one category. It depends on what I'm feeling at the moment, which I'll write about. Who knows about the word no? I don't know about the word no. You don't know about the word no. He don't know, she don't know. Do you? I'm not talking about I'm not talking about the N-O no. I'm talking about the K-N-O-W no. A word that knows a lot, a word that knows very little, or a word that knows nothing. But then again, who knows?
The National Writers Union was at the first Poetry Festival. We had a booth one year in the pouring rain, and we don't regret a single moment of it. It's just a wonderful opportunity to support a community of writers from all the 5 boroughs, from all different, from published writers to ones that just have their first chapbook out this year. And they're all fantastic people to meet in person. So please come out to more cultural festivals as much as you can this year. They're worth it.
My name is Betty Pierre. I'm a Haitian poet from the Bronx. And I got into poetry at about 18. I started writing because the words would come. I talk about a lot. I'm a poet that writes just when a picture, a vision, or a word will come to me. So I'm sort of like the vehicle that the words use to tell a story. So usually that's how I write. I think I was introduced to the Writers Union some time ago, maybe back in 2015, but it could have been earlier. And I went to the Harlem Book Fair, and I met some folks there, and they had a table, and I think they were very welcoming. That's what I liked about it. The writers were all welcoming and dedicated. And I also liked the fact that it was a union. And I'm familiar with unions from my work in social work, my work for the state. And I believe that unions support labor whether it's in art or it's in whatever industry. So that's why I really support the National Writers Union.
Hi, I'm Judy C. Andrews, and I was born in Brooklyn. I grew up in the Bronx as well as Chinatown. I'm a writer. I usually write about suspense and thrillers and murder mysteries, but I also enjoy poetry. My latest book is called The Gathering of Gemstones, which is a poetry collection, and I'm working on a suspense thriller right now.
I am from thick molasses, kissing powder soft biscuits, and entertained by red-eye gravy with ham, okra, and grits, and some fried fish. I am Gullah Geechee, jewels, diamonds, gems, holy words, ebonics, street, mad, ghetto, ghetto fabulous, and the King's English. I am from Gola and Sierra Leone's baskets that carry love, culture, heritage, gold, silver, oil to Georgia. I am from deep wounds, chains that caused water I was baptized in to stain my eyes. I am from Isis, Eve, Hatshepsut, Mary, Harriet, Coretta, Maya, Intezaki, Alice, Tony, Sonia, Angela, Shirley, Oprah, Michelle, Hannah, Catherine, even Shaniqua. I am well-nurtured soul, seasoned with saltiness, spicy, spirited, tasteful, filling like molasses and port wine, kissing black cake. I am from megastars, gemstones, gold, silver, enhancing the world with Obama magic and tickling hope, drifting through my body like a ton of frankincense and myrrh, sweet lang lang, and carefree roses. I am from many lands, Bethlehem, Jerusalem, Africa. I am from a woman named Catherine, African American, an American descendant of slaves, a descendant of royalty, brown sugared Gullah and rich regality, made wise through struggle, planted in a foundation of rich soil where the branches of live oak trees still dance in the sun. I am from the sun, the aton, the atom, the Son of God, Isis, Eve, Sheba, Cleopatra, daughter, mother, aunt, sister, father, uncle, brother, cousin. They live infinitely. I am Ashe, Ashe, Ashe. Thank you. You can find my work on blessedbrown.com or browngirlreflections.com. Thank you very much, the New York Poetry Festival.
After the year we've had, we all need to just breathe. La Fortaleza Community Development Corporation hosts its 9th annual Bilingual Literature and Literacy Latino-Latina Heritage Month celebration at El Barrio Artspace PS 109, 215 East 99th Street, Friday and Saturday, October 8th and 9th. Join us. Admission is free. Plus, you can get your first vaccine and get the city's $100 bonus. Don't forget, El Festival del Libro, Friday, Saturday, October 8th and 9th at El Barrio's Artspace PS 109, 215 East 99th Street. And breathe.
Hi, it's Felix Leo Campos of La Fortaleza CDC urging you to share the news. If you're unvaccinated, you can save lives, stop the spread, support local arts programming and small businesses by getting your first vaccine and get a $100 bonus plus a chance at more prizes. Join us in celebrating our community's good health and prosperity. Get your first vaccine and let them know that La Fortaleza sent you.
I am fulfilled to be greeted warmly, to be treated as somebody important, checking in at the participant table, getting my little brochure and schedule, getting the sticker that I've been vaccinated. I am fulfilled. Arriving at this stage, taking my space in the community of poets. I am fulfilled. Raising my voice, finding at least some in the audience receptive. I am fulfilled, and making a political statement, which I believe is essential at this time in our history. I am fulfilled. I'm here not for applause, though I welcome it if it comes, but I'm here to share something that I hope will stimulate someone in heart and mind and compel that person to think and act differently in a way that makes this world better.
And it's the only labor organization representing freelance writers in every genre. They have 13 chapters across the U.S., and they work to advance economic and working conditions of writers. They lobby for legislation, they initiate lawsuits, educate writers on their rights, networking, organizing picket lines, publicizing viable alternatives to unfair practices by both traditional publishers and internet publishers, and they mobilize members to fight for their collective self-interest. So, please welcome the National Writers Union.
So I'm Mike McQuillan, and I've come here in sunshine, but I've come here in sunshine to read a poem about rain. But it's not a weather report. My poem is a human report, because it's one about one solitary man named Rodney. It's a true story about him, how he was alone in a crowd, in a rain, and how we all could give each other a little more meaningful sunshine. It's called The Stranger in the Storm is My Brother. It was published in issue 48 of a literary journal called The Right Launch. You can find it and others on my website, Mike McQuillan's Unity Forum, and in the anthology of the COVID Rebels 21 next week. And it begins this way. Is it failing eyes or conscience, since we seem not to see how Rodney stands alone, exposed to torrential rain and wind? Teeming masses hurry past, umbrellas clash like swords. Downcast heads dwell on where to go as they ignore the plaintive plea. I am hungry, says his sign in letters bright and bold, but the apathy of others should always leave us cold. That no one stops is hard to see. It keeps Rodney in the depths of anonymity. Will no one spare a dime or time from compassion, if not love? How many in that crowd claim they're pious or devout? Pray to God on Sunday, worship Mammon now. To me, the diner window is if a museum's gilded frame, when I glanced right across the side street, revealed Rodney in the rain. Neither Monet's garden at Givenchy nor Pissarro's Montmartre Boulevard match the majesty of Rodney's striking sight as he righteously upholds his right to live, to thrive, as you or I or anyone among commuters passing by. The Good Samaritan's heart and eyes were open, and Jesus bore the cross. They'd show mercy in a blizzard. All faiths tell such tales. So I have to go, the waiters told. My partner understands, as New York's 17th and 6th becomes the Jericho Road. Pulling Jacksons from my pocket, I dash and splash, dodge skidding bikes and cars, to soak with Rodney in the deluge, where I ask his and say my name, reaching for my brother's hand to get him out of rain. Nourished with a hot meal, safely warm and dry. But I say this not as self-praise, what I did was small. I just wonder why on earth we won't share enough for all. We boast of freedom, but from shackled minds. Corporate titans live in splendor as their bottom lines balloon with $15 an hour for those who shine their shoes or serve their lunch too much, elected leaders say. They've made us mighty with our missiles. We have 405 to point at nations overseas. But I fear more than China or the Russians how we treat the least of these. Let's save lives instead of killing with the $30 million that a single missile costs. How wise we'd be to help them. It would build community. In all the coastal cities and all our heartland towns, if we'd wake up from our sitcoms and commercials, ignore the talking heads, a nation with the know-how to reach the moon and Mars could allocate some housing and create some jobs while feeding all the people at all the corners missed. Amid the office towers where aluminum and glass shield those who push the hedge funds while they try to build a brand, as Rodney stands alone in rain. Beware, his fate could come your way. Life has no guarantee. Would you not want someone to stop? Then go to see him now, before the anonymous Americans who with us live a lie stare at your soul each morning from the mirror while you brush hair or knot a tie. Will your eyes stay open with your conscience clear as you travel on the daily trail that takes you where you go? Will loving kindness guide you to help Rodney and his mythic kin if someone's boldly lettered sign or merely empty hand declare a personal emergency? Will you make the stranger welcome as a friend with genuine concern and generosity to embrace at last that love grows from compassion and the sharing of resources that even in the lockdown have always been enough for all. Thank you, and thank you for hearing us all. And may we have a thank you also for Joey and Matt, our accomplished storytelling, well-organized stage managers. Thank you all.
After the year we've had, we all need to just breathe. La Fortaleza Community Development Corporation hosts its 9th annual Bilingual Literature and Literacy Latino-Latina Heritage Month celebration at El Barrio Artspace PS 109, 215 East 99th Street, Friday and Saturday, October 8th and 9th. Join us. Admission is free. Plus, you can get your first vaccine and get the city's $100 bonus. Don't forget, El Festival del Libro. Breathe.
Bye.